I want to bring someone in from this kind of event, and the first person I want to bring in is Alison Shaw from Newcastle University. Alison Shaw, you had a question that was centered around the power of digital opportunity. Do you want to expand on that, Alison Shaw from Newcastle University?
Absolutely. So I think that we have some qualification-driven imperatives which tend to lead the curriculum instead of, frankly, the other way around. And as we know, the world is changing rapidly because of technology, but also because of other things. So that if we take the standard 3 years or so to generate qualifications, the likelihood is that they will be out of date, specifically and particularly when we're talking about digital subjects. So I just wondered if there are any comments about this, digital applications and also the content around those things ought, in this world with youngsters as digital natives, as we call them, to lead to the most exciting, relevant, motivating kinds of learning. And I just really welcome comments from panelists or anyone else about how to harness that power rather than, as I say, enslaving the curriculum to whether it's qualifications or the tools that we use to teach them.
Thank you, Alison, very much. Jen, do you wanna, I know that probably you might be wanting to answer this one.
Sure, I mean, where do you start? But I think there's at different levels of education, you can address that in different ways. I mean, I think certainly there is a very strong argument, and your fellow academic, I mean, the late Harvey Goldstein and colleagues have exposed very, very clearly how the weaknesses of the accountability system, using sort of basically a lot of the curriculum, the curriculum becomes taught in ways that meet the accountability system in order to deliver the structure of education that gets rewarded through the Ofsted system or through progress measures, and is seen to be valued above perhaps the values of education. And I think we're at a critical crisis moment of deciding in this country, where does the value of education, where does the purpose of education sit in everything that is delivered, in not only the content of curriculum, but in how it is delivered. And if we do not address that now, I think we will end up being in a position that we've not only let down our young people, who will be going into the most unstable, unpredictable, and unsafe economic environment that we have known, at least in my lifetime and probably before, beyond Brexit, beyond the pandemic, but we'll actually put ourselves in an incredibly weak economic position. And I think this actually, the fundamentals of how we teach a curriculum and who gets taught how and how it's delivered, rests on why are we teaching children at all? And yes, it fits very much into the skills agenda, and that children need to have the skills and competencies, rather than the GCSE marks or the grades. The competencies count for much more in real life. What we actually have right now is a system that is a sorting out system. It grades children and says, this third has failed, this third can probably get into the university of their choice, and these others might look at an assortment of academic or vocational or technical qualifications. We don't need really to set children up to fail. We need to set them up with skills and competencies that have given each child that fundamental opportunity to flourish for the rest of their life, and in doing so will do the best for the economy.